When we think of the African savanna, our minds conjure images of raw, explosive power. We picture the magnificent charge of a lion, a golden blur of muscle and intent. We imagine the lightning strike of a cheetah, a fleeting moment of breathtaking speed. We see a kingdom defined by the dramatic clash of tooth and claw. But that's just the highlight reel, the sensational final act of a much longer play. The real story is so much more tangled, so much more fascinating, and it begins not with a predator's climactic roar, but with a single, colossal body moving slowly and deliberately across the golden plains. This is not a story of moments, but of millennia. It is a story of constant, tireless work that shapes the very ground upon which the drama of life and death unfolds. We're about to look past the heart-pounding scenes to reveal a delicate network locking together the biggest giants and tiniest insects, all working in an unconscious, powerful harmony. Here, in this vast, open world, the true rulers are not the hunters who seize the spotlight, but the architects who build the stage they all perform on. They are the ecosystem engineers, and their work is the foundation of everything. So, in a world this complex, a sprawling web of dependencies and interactions, where does the story truly begin? It begins with the chief architects of the savanna, the mega herbivores. At the very top of that list, towering over all others, is the African elephant. Elephants are what ecologists call a keystone species. The name, first coined by zoologist Robert Payne in the 1960s, is a perfect metaphor. Imagine the keystone in a Roman arch, the single, wedge-shaped stone at the very apex that holds the entire structure together. It bears the tension and the weight, allowing the arch to stand. If you pull it out, everything crumbles into a pile of rubble. For the savanna, the elephant is that keystone. How can a single animal wield so much power? It's all in their day-to-day work, their constant, large-scale impact. An adult elephant needs to consume hundreds of pounds of plant matter every single day, a diet that makes them relentless landscapers. As they roam in their family herds, they are constantly reshaping their environment. They feed on bushes and saplings, and when they encounter larger trees, particularly the iconic acacia, they will often push them over to get to the most nutritious leaves at the top. This tireless work, this colossal gardening, single-handedly stops the forest from creeping in and taking over. It maintains the vast, open grasslands that so many other animals, from the humble zebra to the mighty wildebeest, depend on for their very existence. Without elephants, much of the savanna would eventually become a dense, dark thicket, squeezing out the grazers and in turn the predators that hunt them. The entire system would change. But the elephant's influence doesn't stop at shaping the horizon. They are masters of finding and providing a resource more precious than any other: water. During the long, punishing dry seasons, when the sun bakes the earth and life hangs by a thread, elephants remember the locations of water hidden just below the surface. They use their incredible strength, their powerful feet, and their tusks to dig into dry riverbeds, creating deep wells that tap into the underground water sources hidden from all others. These elephant-dug wells become life-saving oases, beacons of hope in a parched land for countless other animals that couldn't possibly get to the water themselves. Even their waste is a precious resource. As they travel vast distances, elephants disperse seeds in their droppings, essentially planting future generations of trees and grasses all across the landscape. The tough journey through an elephant's gut can even help to break down a seed's hard coat, making germination more likely. Each pile of dung is a small, perfectly packaged, fertilizer-packed nursery for new life. And they are not alone in this work. In the quiet of the night, Another, smaller architect is just as busy, the termite. These tiny insects build colossal mounds, some several meters high, that act like chimneys, ventilating their underground colonies. These mounds are packed with nutrients, creating hotspots of soil fertility that support unique patches of vegetation. They dot the landscape, providing lookout posts for predators and homes for other animals like mongooses and snakes. Elephants build the world on a grand scale, while termites perfect it on a micro level. Together, these architects, big and small, don't just live in the savannah, they are actively building it, one bite, one step, and one pile of dung at a time. They build the stage upon which the entire drama of the savannah will play out. The elephants and their fellow architects create and maintain a vast, open world of grass. But in doing so, they create a profound paradox. If the savannah is a sea of grass, an endless buffet, how can so many different plant eaters share the same space without starving each other out? How can tens of thousands of animals all survive on what looks like the same meal? The answer isn't a chaotic free-for-all, but an elegant and invisible system of rules that governs the greatest feast on Earth. And that is where our story goes next.